Odds are this will be the shortest video in the Hindsight series yet. It's not for a lack of effort on my part, or a lack of effort on EA's part for that matter, rather that NHL 10 is highlighted by the continued evolution of already established mechanics and the transformation of Dynasty mode into be a GM, rather than being highlighted by its own major innovation in gameplay. Aside from the return of board play, the majority of gameplay improvements come from the ability to customize your experience. Auto backskate can now be turned off. Camera perspective is more than just home team always up, as you can finally set it to prefer up. Yes, this was all new as of 2009. The addition of game styles has brought more customization to the table, with anything from a casual to hardcore experience now possible due to an increased number of sliders. It's basically what we have in NHL 19. Other small improvements include this pretty sweet loading screen, boost slots for your Be a Pro and EASHL player, the Battle for the Cup option, which spares you from having to watch your super team fail in the playoffs year after year to see the celebration, and the Swiss NLA has been added for the first time. From here on out, it's all about GM mode, and odds are this is the version of the mode that you remember so fondly. The GM tracker and phone system has arrived, with GM skill level being determined by what you do throughout your campaign. The ability to be fired is now an option. You finally have the trade block. Prospects are now younger, more often than not being 18 or 19 years old, rather than 19 or 20 like they were in previous games, and you can choose the entry draft as a starting point. One more thing to note, as I've been asked about this on a couple of occasions, as far as jerseys are concerned, unfortunately up to this point in the series, alternates and retros have been severely lacking. As it is, the Hurricanes won't have the Whaler jerseys in the game until next year, so there really hasn't been too much of a reason to highlight them, whether it be because of the Reebok deal or perhaps them not even having the rights to certain jerseys because of 2K still being around. That said, despite some frustrations I had with the gameplay, which more often than not comes down to the randomness that you experience with EA NHL video games, I again have to point out that this was the best game yet from EA. Obviously, for me, being a franchise mode guy, it was a very influential year, despite GM mode being a little bit more outrageous than I remember, mainly due to the amount of trades that occur throughout a season, which if you see 20 or 30 or more, do not be surprised. In conclusion, I can only give EA credit at this point. Up to this point, the yearly roster update argument certainly wouldn't have held any water, but maybe that narrative began to be a bit more prominent after NHL 11. We'll find out soon enough.